Welcome to the Money Watch Show. I'm your host, Jill Schlesinger, CBS News business analyst and certified financial planner. Hey, it's April 6th, and for our Jewish and non-Jewish listeners, happy Passover. Passover begins at sundown tonight. Mark, have you ever been to a Passover Seder?
Never. That
seems like a big missing link in your history of New York City.
Especially considering where I live in the very, very Jewish heavy Lower East Side, and my building, very, very Jewish heavy.
So now I would invite you to my sister's tonight, except she is very tight on space. So when I have my Seder, and I'll probably do it, in the house versus in the apartment, then it will be time for you and Amanda and Theo to experience a Passover Seder. The key with a Passover Seder is not to go to your first Seder with someone who's very religious, because then it's a long, long, long service. So we tend to do pretty quick services and get to the matzo ball soup and the brisket pretty quickly. So that's good. Anyway, happy Passover to everybody. And just the lead up to Easter coming up around the corner. And if you have a question that is non-Passover related, although if you would like to weigh in on the best potato latkes in New York City, I'd love to hear from you, because there's going to be a potato latke taste-off at our Seder. We're getting it from various places to see which one we think is the best. Anyway, if you have that kind of input, or if you have a financial question, all you need to do is go to jillonmoney.com, click the Contact Us button, complete the form, tell us what's going on. And if you'd like to join us on the program, check the box. Mark does everything else. It's so great. So with that said, let's go and talk to Anne, who's on the line from the Pacific Northwest. Hello, Anne. Say hi to Mark also.
Hi, Mark. Hi, Jill.
What's going on? What brings you to us?
So I've got a few questions, I guess, but the main thing is I just kind of set this year to be a financial reset, as you would. And I found I have extra money that I'm not sure if I should just be adding it to my 401k or investing it elsewhere.
Anne, tell us about yourself before we talk about all your extra money and what we're going to do with it.
Sure. I own a home.
How much is the home worth?
It is worth $750.
Do you have a mortgage on it?
Mm-hmm. At the mortgage of $380.
And what is the interest rate?
3 3/8.
Great. How old are you?
37.
Married, single, kids? What else in the home life?
Divorced, 2 children that I share 50-50 custody with, so they're with me half the time.
How old are they?
They're young. They just started school. So I finally got out of
no more daycare. Do you work full time?
Yes, full time.
And how much do you earn?
$120.
Okay. Are you contributing to a retirement account?
Yes. I work match 5%, and I add an additional 9 into pre-tax, and then I max out my Roth, which is something I've only recently started to do.
That's awesome, though. So you're putting in 9% pre-tax. They match 5, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's in it. Okay. So that's a traditional. How much is in that workplace account?
Just less than 200.
And what about, you said you just started the Roth, but how much is in there?
Well, I believe the 200 includes what's the Roth contribution. So I think that's 15 or something. So not very much.
That's all right. That's great. Do you have any other accounts that are floating around? Maybe old retirement accounts, old IRA, anything else, brokerage?
No, I just have maybe 36 in savings.
Okay. And I know the kids just started regular old school. They're probably elementary school kids, so it always feels weird. So what about 529 plans in college? Like, what do you think a game plan is for that?
We just set up accounts. They're very low balance right now. I think they both have about 3,000 each.
Okay.
And our plan is just to contribute $50 a month for that. It wasn't supposed to be rolling them through college, but at least this is the situation right now.
Given that you guys share custody, is there any child support / alimony from this divorce?
No.
Tell us what your game plan is. I mean, you're putting money away. What would you like to do with this extra money?
I think I would like to invest. I've looked into I-bonds, but I know they're going to need to be invested for a long time to make money. But I'm not sure if I should just max out my 401k or not. I have Cost of living increases every year, which eventually would probably mean I might max out my 401k. I also sometimes get a bonus, sometimes don't. So that could also mean I max my 401k.
But you work for a private company, or do you work for a municipality? Is there any pension, anything else floating around that's in the future? Okay, got it. And what about in terms of, are you a happy worker? Are you the kind of person who's planning for your next endeavor? Like, how do you see yourself? Do you feel like, hey, I'm going to be doing this for 30 years? That's awesome. Or what? How do you look ahead?
I am very fortunate that I absolutely love what I do. I've been with the company for over 10 years. I don't see myself moving anytime soon. I'm just very fortunate. I went to school to do this. And where I live, it's pretty much one of 3 companies I could possibly work for. And right now,
it's the best one. Okay. So Mark, what do you think about Anne? Like, what should she do with her extra cash flow? How much is it that we're playing with every month?
I think I have about 1,000, but I would like to continue to just bump up my savings a little bit more. So if I was to say 500 at the moment.
Is this the kind of place you said you get bonus or stock? Only because I'm talking to you from where you are in the universe where you live. Is that a possibility, or is this 120 sort of what it is, and that's the total?
Then there's the possibility of a maybe 10% bonus.
Have they been paying that?
They didn't this year. They did previous. They didn't the year before. It depends on company performance.
Okay. All right, Mark, jump in. What are we doing with $1,000 a month for Anne?
I think I would open up a brokerage account. I'm not sure that I would, you could increase your 401k contributions, but like you said, you're going to be getting regular increases over the years. So I think that problem might take care of itself. And plus, you're getting a good match. I would, after you get your emergency reserve up to a level that you feel comfortable with, and I think I would redirect it into a brokerage account. That way you have some money that's invested, but you also have access to it if you need it, God forbid.
Or if you wanted to put more money into the 529 account, I mean, later you could choose to do that. You could kind of see how things go. I like a brokerage account because it gives you some options. I agree with Mark. Like you're good right now in terms of the amount you're putting away based on your income. And it sounds like you've got longevity also. You're not saying, oh my God, I want to be done in 15 years. Where do you hold your Roth IRA?
It's with the same company as my 401k.
Is it like Fidelity or something? Principal. Who sold you that Principal Roth IRA? You just said, hey, I got a little extra money and I popped it in there, and then you just figured wherever I had my retirement account?
As far as I'm aware, that was just what was offered through work.
Wait. Hold on a second. Stand by for a second. Hold on. Are you now telling me that it's a Roth 401k or a Roth IRA that you?
So I contribute 9% pre-tax.
Yes.
And max out post-tax.
So you don't have an IRA. It's all a Roth 401k.
Sounds like it's a 401k, and she's contributing some pre-tax and some post-tax.
Right. That's what I'm trying to figure out. There's no IRA, right?
No.
It's okay. Thank you.
So when you say you max out the Roth side, are you saying you're putting in like $6,500 post-tax?
Yes.
I would prefer not to be in the principal. She's under the Roth limit for an IRA. So I'd rather you have a Roth IRA. You're going to hate me for this because I'm going to make you open it. I just don't love the principal because it's an insurance product. I don't know what you're invested in. I'd love to see a snapshot. Can you send me a screenshot of your 401k options?
Mm-hmm. I can do that. Yeah. All I know is I put it in like the 65 plan.
Oh, you're in a target date plan.
I will say they have gotten better.
It is better. You're right. Because it says the expense ratio is like 1/3%. So you know what? You don't have to do it. I think it's fine. It sounds like you're putting a lot of money away for retirement. So in essence, I think that what Mark and I are trying to bang home for you is that it would be better if you could have a little bit of money that's not in retirement that gives you some flexibility. How much do you think you're spending every month, just in general, on your lifestyle? If you make 120, you're putting all this money away in retirement. What do you think is your monthly costs out there?
I could tell you to the penny how much I spend every single month.
I love this person.
Depending on the month when bills come in, but it's between $4,500 and $5,000. We live very very well, very
That's
frugal.
good. That's great. Well, you don't even have to be so frugal, but I mean, if you're spending $5,000 probably, and you're very secure in your job, it sounds like. So I mean, having the 30 in cash is fine. I would start I don't know if I would. You don't necessarily need I bonds. You're young. You already have your safe money. I would say that opening up a brokerage account somewhere, and not at the principal, but maybe at Fidelity or at Vanguard or Charles Schwab. I mean, you can go and look and see which of these platforms you like. I mention all of these in one breath. People have asked me about this, like, why this, not that? It's not like a this or a that. The kinds of places where I think it's easy to invest as an individual and find low cost index funds or ETFs are T. Rowe Price, TD Ameritrade, Vanguard, Schwab, Fidelity, E-Trade. These are all places that will allow you to open up an account with very little money. You could put some money in a stock index fund, some money in an international stock index fund, some money in a bond index fund. I don't know, like 80% stocks, Mark, or 70% stocks because she's young and healthy and happy. What do you think?
My default for her age is usually around 80%. Yeah.
I mean, it would be, if you want to make it a little bit less risky, you do 70%. So maybe you'd put $500 a month into a US stock index fund, and then maybe another $200 a month into an international index fund, and $300 a month into a bond index fund. Now, Anne, you got divorced, so I imagine you have your will and all of your documents in place. Is that right?
Of course not.
Oh, dear. You got to make sure that money is set up. Like, do you like your ex-husband? Is this an amicable divorce?
It's amicable.
I don't think it's as amicable as you think because of the thing you said before we got on the air, but that's besides the point. So here's what happened. So the kids would go to him, right? Because you share custody. Where would you want your money to go?
Everything from my pension goes to the girls right now.
Right.
The house is the thing that doesn't go anywhere.
And this brokerage account that we're setting up, don't forget. And even if it goes to the girls, someone has to oversee it. Do you trust your ex-husband to be a good, like overseer of the money part?
I do.
Okay.
There's currently nobody else here. So I'm originally from England. I moved here 15 years ago. I don't have family here. So
I think here's what I think you could do. I think what you should do is you should talk to an attorney because it would be, because you are from England, it is convoluted to have this house and not deal with how it's going to be dispersed. So what can happen is you can say, if anything happens to me, the house gets sold, the money gets set aside and put in trust for my 2 kids, split equally. Boom, that's that. If you want to make a particular gift to your siblings in England, you better put that down on paper. And like same thing, like it's like, where would the cash go? The cash would be part of the estate. Then the estate has to get, it's just like, it's actually, you're making it easy for me to beat you up because you are an expat. Are you a citizen right now or are you a resident of the US?
A resident.
Yeah, this is screwed up. You got to get this done. And you have to pick someone to do it. That's the other thing. So I don't know if you and your ex-husband have very good relationship and you want to make him the executor of your estate, that's up to you. But if you have a very dear friend who could do it also, I don't know. There's like a real reason here to get this done because of the citizenship or lack of citizenship issue, which you really that means you have to actually sit down with someone who knows what they're doing.
Yeah.
So that I would do. Do you have life insurance through work?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And also separately outside of work?
I believe in Washington State, they've passed a law or in the process of passing a law that people have to have longer term care insurance. I know.
Yeah, that's the weird thing. Remember that, Mark? That long term care insurance thing, or you have to opt out of it and pay a fee. All right, so we need you to deal with some of this stuff. Okay,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Absolutely. I don't know when you actually got divorced, but this is a good time for you to take a deep breath. You're in control of this. You're spending within your means, which, like, honestly, the hard part of what I usually have to do in talking to people like you is to like, get your crap together, girl, move on. You have it together. The easy thing is to actually just go to an estate attorney. Find somebody who can help you out. Find out who you can speak to who's an estate planning attorney who has dealt with somebody who's not a U.S. citizen. And that's really important. And the only other thing I want you to look at, besides you're going to send us a screenshot of your 401k choices, is the actual benefits that you're receiving through work, the amount of the life insurance, is there long-term care being offered? These are nuts and bolts of your financial life. The other stuff's easy. Okay, that is it for our pre-Passover show and our pre-Easter show. If you would like to join us, all you need to do is go to jillonmoney.com, click the Contact Us button. Just so easy. And don't forget to check out all the great stuff that lives on our website, all of the other podcast episodes you may have missed, the blog, the radio show, videos of my recent CBS mornings or evening news hits, and of course the book. The book is called The Great Money Reset. Change your work, change your wealth, change your life. 10 bold steps to turn chaos into opportunity. All right. All that being said, everything lives at jillonmoney.com. Mark Talercio, thank you very much for co-hosting and being the best executive producer in the world. Karen Kranick is our web queen. We are distributed by Paramount Global. We drop our episodes every Tuesday and Thursday. Put your hands metaphorically on someone's back and don't forget, change your work, change your wealth, change your life. Thank you for listening. Happy Passover. Happy Easter. We'll talk to you next week.